Bitwig in the flesh then.
Yes, hello, my name is Dom, I'm from Bitwig, and we're here on the NAMM show to show our little beta. And there was a lot of fuss on the internet because it would be vaporware or whatever, so no, we're here, it's running. We are in the middle of the beta phase and just showing what it does.
So what are we running on, what platform are we running this on?
Currently it's running on a Windows 8 machine, but it runs also on OS X as well as on Linux. So all three platforms covered. And testing goes on all three platforms at the same time, as well as the development. So it's exactly the same on all three operating systems.
All right, so the feature set is rolled out to all three simultaneously.
Exactly.
Awesome. So just give me a little quick overview of what Bitwig is and does, right?
What Bitwig is and does. Bitwig is a music creation software, as simple as that. But we are actually trying to cover a lot of different areas. We want to actually do a tool that enables you to do your music in the studio, as well as putting it on stage and performing it there. And what will be very interesting, our roadmap for version 2 will be online collaboration, so that you can meet in one room and actually make music together with multiple laptops, or you are on different internet connections in different countries and still can collaborate. That is the roadmap and what we're aiming for.
But I mean, as well as the traditional door layout, there's a kind of clip launch, kind of live type aspect to it as well. Can you take me through that on the screen?
Yes, so actually we think if you do a new sequencer nowadays, you have to take into account that you also want to do live performances. For years and years, all the sequencers were working like we have an arrange page, and we start often with an 8-bar loop and flash out an arrangement starting from that. Working with clips means you can collect ideas and can just jam with those clips. If you have a clip, you can start it. It starts quantized, and I can just play around with different ideas I have.
So the same kind of clip and scene launch type of dynamic, right?
Yes, yes. And what's also very interesting is you can put them back and forth. You can actually record as an arrangement what you are jamming with the clips, and this enables you to, if you did tracks, you have your album, you want to bring it to stage, you can put it onto the clip launcher and perform it live, or you just collect ideas and turn them into arrangement.
I'm quite interested in the reasoning behind going for the Linux as a platform. What made you kind of want to do that as well?
There's a big void on Linux. There are not so many sequencers around right now, but more and more people are starting to use Linux as their working machines, as they want to just explore what's possible there. A lot of people don't want to use Windows machines, a lot of people don't want to use a Mac, maybe it's a bit too expensive for them, and Linux really is growing in the last years for the normal consumers.
Are you finding you're getting any differences in efficiency for the same processor on different operating systems? Is Linux kind of proving to be more efficient because there's sort of less of an OS layer?
It's hard to say. I don't think it will be a lot of differences. Especially if you take OS X or Windows 8 into account, it should perform more or less the same. But I can't talk any really exact numbers now because we're now in beta. We start now performance tuning the whole thing.
Right.
And on the other hand, on Linux, you don't have any overhead you don't want to have, like stuff that runs in the background that you can't turn off on other systems. So,
show me some of the kind of the edited highlights, the high points. What's the great bits about Bitwig that are unique to it, do you think?
What is unique to it is something you can't actually see at the moment, the modular system that is under the hood. Basically all devices we ship with Bitwig 1.0 are already built using the internal modular system, which will be open to the public in 2.0. Which means in this version, which is our internal development version, I can just, for example, this is our polysynth, our virtual analog synth, you can click that little branch icon and it opens up the patching window. And the whole modular system is already what we are using to build the devices. So in 2.0, just if you want to just change something we built, you can modify our creations or come up with your own creations.
That's kind of aspects of Reactor almost. It's kind of got that kind
Yes,
of
yes.
vibe, yeah.
But right built into the core, not like you take a new product that you have to buy and load in your host. You can't change what your host comes with. You can only do new things or use what the Reactor library gives you.
It's a very ambitious kind of vision then.
It is, yeah. But we are all like sequencer geeks and nerds for 1 to 2 decades. We really think about what we do and what we want to use ourselves. So it's very ambitious, but I think we can pull it off.
So have you got your own unique plugin format, or will it support other formats like VST or AU, any of that kind of stuff going on?
Especially for version 1.0, the very initial release, we tried to get all the basics right. That's why for 1.0 we will support VST and not audio units on a Mac, for example. Actually, nearly all audio units are available as VST anyway, and we saved that development time to get all the other basic features right. So this will be something for the future, because people are still asking for AU, even if all AUs are available as VSTs, or nearly all.
That must be one of the hard things as a developer. I mean, if you try and do everything, then you can spend a lot of time just concentrate on one aspect, right?
Absolutely, and you really have to think about how you structure the software so that it doesn't get cluttered. And on the other hand, this is also nice to give it really a fresh start, because you can use all the current technology and build it right into the beginning of the program. It's hard for other software products. If you want to do a 64-bit version of something you developed like 10 years ago, you have to rewrite big parts of it.
You've got no legacy that you have to kind of bring. Yeah.
That's right.
I mean, how long does it take before you end up with a legacy that encumbers what you have, do you think?
It's a good question. I think it's very important to think about the future just along the way, and always trying to keep the software very open to new ideas and very open to new technologies. You have to keep the whole thing pretty much modular in itself, so that you can just exchange things.
So, I mean, obviously it's its own file format, own sort of DAW style. Are there any ways that people will be able to translate what they've got in other packages into Bitwig when it becomes available, so they can transition?
You mean like you have projects in another software sequencer and you at the moment we support normal MIDI files and we support audio, so you would render your audio stems or MIDI. There's no import of other project formats of other sequencer products.
So it ships with a bunch of devices as standard. What are those? I see a polysynth there, right? That's what we know to do.
Yes.
What else?
What else? Yeah. Actually, all what you would expect. On the right side we have the browser, and it's all the bread and butter stuff. You have flangers, you have equalizers, you have compressors. We have a little FM organ. We have an FM organ, a normal drawbar organ, I wanted to say, an FM synthesizer. And what I really like is that we have little analog style drum generators.
Single voice ones, yeah.
Exactly, so you can tune the tune or make the decay longer. It's like in a modular system where you just tweak your analog drum sounds. And all those things come already with it. And as I said, in 2.0 you can just do your own creations or modify what comes with it.
So in terms of how people set up, because like people get used to key commands and screen sets and things like that, how modifiable is that in Bitwig?
Right now we have, especially for the dual screen support, we have 2 different setups. One setup would be the clip launcher on one side and the arrangement on the other side. And the second screen setup is that one where you have the arrangement on one side and you have all the detail editors on the other side. I like to explain that when you come to the studio with your laptop. In the studio you have a really big screen. There you have the full arrangement, and you're actually operating the laptop where you can see your MIDI editor, your automation editor, and the device lane. And we are very open to the input of the beta testers, how they would like to structure the whole interface. It's also pretty much modular, so we can just realign what we want to have.
And in terms of key commands and that kind of thing, is that user modifiable?
We have key commands in there, but in version 1.0 there will not be a key command editor. But it's very high on the wish list actually. People love that, and I love that too.
So what is the roadmap then? Where are we now?
Where are we now? We are now beta testing for several months, so it's a real beta, not like maybe Google starts a beta and it's basically a golden master and the beta is more the promotional thing. We really started to beta test single functions at the beginning. Now we are nearly feature complete and sanding off the edges now, polishing the whole thing, doing the performance tuning, and at least we can say now we will release this year. And actually I think it will be around summer. So we don't give a date out right now still. We don't want that people are disappointed because we have to ship a software because we promised a date and then we are not satisfied with the state it is in, and no one will be happy.
And have you kind of thought about what the price point's likely to be?
No, there's no price point yet. It also depends a bit on when exactly we ship it now, and we will see.
So would you be selling platform agnostic packages, or is it going to be you buy a Mac version or a PC version or a Linux version?
No, you buy Bitwig and then you can run it on whatever OS you want. Maybe you want to switch operating systems someday, then you don't have to buy a new license. That would be.
And how are you going to protect? Are you doing a dongle or?
No, we are not into the dongle things. We don't like dongles actually, because we are musicians. We are musicians ourselves and use software ourselves very much. And no, it will be a normal challenge response system where you just connect to the server once, it exchanges keys, and that's it. We don't want to put people off with dongles, or that's not the way to do it. At least we think so.
And how about device support on Linux? Are you building that into the application, or is it going to be at driver level support, so for MIDI and audio? Because that's a challenge, isn't it, on Linux to get the devices supported?
Which devices?
Hardware devices too.
Now it really improved over the last years with all the audio driver situation, and we support the jack audio stuff, and this really evolves.
Great. Thank you very much.
No problem, thanks. It was a pleasure.